Some words from Ribu. If we think for a moment that there is such a thing as thought, consciousness itself will appear as thought. Let me read it again. If we think for a moment that there is such a thing as thought, consciousness itself will appear as thought. That itself will appear as the world and jivas and the Supreme. There will be misery arising out of it. Therefore, beloved, conquer thought easily by the certitude that there is no such thing as thought. And all is consciousness, and like this attain bliss. Conquest of thought alone is the great success. Conquest of thought alone is the great achievement. Conquest of thought alone is the great yoga. Conquest of thought alone is the great knowledge. Conquest of thought alone is the great purification. Conquest of thought is the great liberation. Conquest of thought alone is the removal of sorrow. Conquest of thought alone is the greatest happiness. The conquest of thought is itself the renunciation of thought. The renunciation of thought is the nature of consciousness. Your true nature, dear one, is consciousness. Thought and others are also of the nature of consciousness. Truly, all is of the nature of consciousness. By the certitude that I am ever of the nature of that consciousness, you shall easily overcome thought and attain happiness. I am ever that thing, Brahman, which is consciousness. Thought and such so described are also that I consciousness. There is not an atom apart from me. Whatever is seen as manifold is only I, the Supreme. I am of the nature of the perfectly full. I am of the nature that is imperishable. I am of the nature that is ever one. By this unfailing conviction, achieve conquest of thought. I am ever devoid of the elements. I am ever devoid of what is composed of the elements. I am ever devoid of the body and such. I am ever devoid of all conditionings. I am the ever ancient one. I am ever the perfectly full knowledge. I am ever the Supreme Brahman Absolute. By this unfailing conviction, achieve conquest of thought. Egoic thought can only molest you when you are the body-mind identity. Mahamaya, the great illusion, can only overwhelm you when you carry the modification, I am the body-mind, I am just a person. And no person can defeat that Mahamaya. Therefore, it's only because the Para-Brahman is inside you, the Supreme Being is inside you, that you can transcend Maya. I wonder if you followed it. Only by limiting yourself to being the body-mind only, then illusions and delusions can enter. But because the Supreme Being is your being, because you are identical with that, and that alone can transcend the effects of Maya, then that is the evidence that you are the Supreme Being, because human beings have transcended Maya, you see. Okay, thank you.